So basically, I am born and bred in Johannesburg, from a family of 5 with 2 older siblings. Started my schooling career here in Johannesburg, and then I progressed to Wits University. That's when I studied for my BSc in microbiology. Fast forward to second year, I just felt like, this is just not for me. I'm not enjoying it. I didn't really feel like I'm tapping into the best, or my potential, really unleashing it in that regard. So I had to complete it, and then immediately after that I applied for a BCom degree at UP, UJ, and UCT, I think. And then that's when I decided to go to UCT, because I was still living at home with my mother. My dad passed away in 2013, so it was me and my mom. And then that's when I started my marketing degree, and then completed that, progressed to do my honors degree in marketing still. And then I went to the world of work, started at Evan Justine as a graduate. And then I got promoted to junior category for 2 categories, personal care and tissue oil. Sorry, it's junior category manager. That's when I really started, I think, in traditional marketing. I resigned to go and study for my PDBA full-time, postgraduate diploma in marketing, in business, sorry. So normally that's what people do to get, it's sort of like a bridge to MBA.
Okay.
If you don't meet the requirements, or maybe you don't have the experience, but also it's much more affordable than going straight for an MBA, because definitely I can't afford. At that time, I couldn't afford an MBA. It was like 204,000, which was a lot. So a PDBA was more, within my affordability, which was 94,000 rands at Wits. I think for me that was the highlight of my schooling career in terms of taking on that program, because the level of networking that it gives you, it harnesses a lot of your skills, because I'd studied marketing from a junior degree, and when you get to honors level, you just feel like, this is just very similar to what you did in undergrad. So that was something very different, but I think it really challenged my thinking. The syndicated learning, the way it's set up, it really I grew. Let me just say that. After that, that's when I got an opportunity at Colgate-Palmolive as an assistant brand manager under the personal care category, which I did Protex and Senex, Irish Spring, and Palmolive. Those are the brands at Colgate-Palmolive. And I was part of the East-West Africa division. So I was not with Colgate South Africa, but we were based in South Africa. So I was in Iwa, it's called Iwa. And I had an opportunity to do a short-term assignment in Zambia, where we were basically downscaling and looking at the portfolio in terms of its profitability and in terms of the contribution to turnover, a portfolio migration basically. So where we analyze the SKUs that are productive and they're bringing in revenue versus those we don't, and you basically eliminating those who don't. So you put in rundown plans, you put in succession plans in terms of distribution. How do we manage our customers? At the end of the day, we're dealing with big people who are like ShopRite, the Choppies in back in Zambia. You've got different indirect selling trade customers as well, who literally love a specific brand, but when you look at it internally in a business, it's not really bringing that much revenue, versus what we're investing behind. So it's basically called SKU rationalization, and I did that for the personal care category. That was literally the highlight of my career then, because I wasn't really based there for living there, but I would travel bi-weekly to be in that market, and I learned a lot. There's a lot of things that I think when you're South African you take for granted, and being a professional in a go-to market or a developing market like that one, you then have to you realize that it's not a cut and paste approach. You can't take a South African strategy that worked here and think it would work there. There are a lot of limitations in terms of resources, in terms of the where people or the customers that side are currently, the socio-economic impact as well. So things like data, it's easily affordable this side, we can access it. that side it's not. You know, it's literally not as affordable as
That's
you would
the
think it
side.
is. So there are certain things that you can't really run. You know, if it's a paid campaign or a competition that requires someone to have a smartphone versus USSD, it might flop. And those are the reasons that you literally see, okay, fine, that's why some of the brands are staggering. That's why some of the strategies are not really landing, because you're speaking to consumers who are similar, but they're in different stages of their lives. And in terms of progression and where the actual market is at in terms of the country, is it developing, is it developed, or is it really, really very, very different from what you're used to? So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.